One of the biggest problems with Steam is the complete lack of moderation. So just imagine if we didn't give a f about our content in the same way.
Recently, it was discovered there is a game on Steam which installs nothing more than an empty folder when it's downloaded. The game Shadow Treachery Cannot Be Tolerated sells for £1.69 on Steam at the moment and is described as the first installment in an episodic first-person shooter adventure. On the game's Steam page, developer Riyad Arifin says in this game, quote, "You will be attacked by few goons and you have to kill them all before they kill you. This is also a first-person shooter game. You can use the mouse pointer to aim and click the mouse button to shoot."
He's giving direction. I mean,
that's a feature, mate. That's not a control scheme.
Is he expecting people to have never used a computer before? This is how you use a mouse. You move it around and you click. I mean, something smells fishy here. Yeah. Let's keep reading.
The description goes on. The most interesting feature of this game is that if you shoot the goons and they don't die, you have to shoot at the places surrounding the attackers to kill them. But when you actually buy the game, you download it and then try to run it, instead of getting access to this awesome sounding gameplay, you get nothing. You're faced with an error message which says the game cannot start because it is missing the executable file. Take a quick look at the game's install folder on your computer and you will discover there is literally nothing there. Downloading the game doesn't actually download any game files.
Now, it has been assumed this was simply an error on developers' part, rather than a scam. But it just goes to show how absolutely piss poor the game curation is on Steam. Another big problem with this situation is that you're not actually allowed to leave a review on Steam until you've played a game. But here, there's no game to play. At the time of recording, there are, however, 3 negative reviews on the Steam's page by players who have somehow managed to get the game working. According to the reviews, the game is pretty much broken and is another example of an asset flip game. It's also apparently seconds long, not hours, not minutes, seconds. But the fact the game was put up for sale when it couldn't even be downloaded properly has highlighted the concerns that many people have about the state of curation on Steam. Valve has been repeatedly bashed by gamers for the lack of curation, and it can be argued they actually made things worse with the fairly new Steam Direct system.
In the past, developers wanting to release their game on Steam had to submit it through the greenlight system where it would be voted on by the community. Once the game reached a certain amount of votes, Valve would allow the game to be sold on Steam. This system led to developers and publishers offering free game keys in exchange for votes. So Valve scrapped the system entirely in favour of the new Steam Direct program. Through Steam Direct, developers can submit their game to Steam for a fee of $100, which is recoupable after the game has made $1,000 in revenue. However, Steam Direct has failed to make any sort of noticeable impact on the amount of shovelware being sold on the platform. What's particularly funny about this story, this game costs £1.69 and still fails the £1 1 hour game counter metric. Like, for value for money. How do you cost £1 and still fail the £1 1 hour test?
That's if you can get it working in the first place, obviously.
I mean, yeah,
you've got to be a hacker to be able to get into the game in the first place. It's absolute trash, isn't it? Steam, what the f*** are you doing? This is not acceptable. This is bullshit. What are they doing? What are they selling here? They're selling fresh air, is what they're selling. It's not good enough. We expect more. We're giving you money. You're taking 30% of that money. You're literally ripping us off. It's not the game developer. It's you ripping us off. Stop being shit. Do better.
They do have a responsibility because they're the biggest store there, and there's just their whole philosophy is like, it's not our problem, we're going to let things be automatic, or we're going to let you, the gamers, curate things for us and stuff. So that's their approach, and this is like a symptom of it. And this is what happens. And you kind of feel maybe this guy was just like messing around with some code, he's trying to develop a game or something, and he's just ended up making a mistake. Maybe that's what's happened. He's just completely made an error, and that still has got through. That still is something you can buy now. You can click buy now on that, just the same as you can with Total War Warhammer 2 or anything. It's up there at the same level. It's just considered exactly the same kind of product. You can spend money on that using the same interface. It's not a good situation. Hopefully this will, they will correct this kind of thing now that they've seen that this is possible. I guess they'll just have to work it into their flipping algorithm or whatever. It just can't happen again. It can't happen again.
Steam needs some sort of rival, a realistic rival to be able to sort this shit out. They get away with it because they've got no competition really realistically, GOG's good, and you've got other platforms as well. Nobody's a realistic competition for them, so they just get away with this bullshit. They need to be competitive again. They need somebody in there. Like, should we make a pretty good gaming platform, something like that, and curate them? We'll play all the games. Fucking hell, we can't do worse than this. Steam is an absolute piss take at this point, and obviously it pisses me off. Let us know your feelings down in the comments below. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here, check out more of our content on your screen there, and support us on Patreon if you're that kind of awesome. We'll see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.